Hey everyone. Sorry it took me forever to get on. Hang on, let me adjust this link. I feel like it's cutting. There we go. Hey Carrie, haven't seen you on forever. Well, I haven't been on in forever, I guess, huh? Hey Robin. Hey Sherry. So, like I told everybody, I'm gonna try to get back on my live schedule to, like I was doing before it got crazy busy for the holidays. So, because, you know, I don't know, a lot of y'all were on last year around March when we were, well, January and February when we were slaving to get, cups ready for Rattlesnake Roundup. So this time I've kind of decided I'm going to start like way early, so I don't have to slave and try to get them all done like last minute, and break out like I did from the epoxy. So I'm going to try to get back on schedule with lives and all that kind of stuff. We're going to try to update the website a little bit to make it more, I don't know, organized, I guess. I'm working on an inventory sheet. It's going to be a little bit, but I'm working on an inventory sheet. I'm also going to work on making a YouTube channel page maybe for the group. Maybe. I don't know. That's in my plans though. But making a YouTube channel for, like, when I do little fast lives or whatever, or fast cups when, you know, they don't take very long or whatever, I can post those in the group and then on the YouTube channel so that they're easier to find. But again, that's just in my plans to write down. So, also, I made a big announcement today on the page in the group. I just broke my nail. Sorry, it's driving me crazy. That we, under the announcements tab in the group, if you're new or if you've been there for a while and you just haven't looked through the announcements tab or didn't really know what the announcements tab was for, that's where we post all of our important announcements. For instance, birthdays. We decided to do, kind of like give back to y'all since, you know, you guys buy a lot from us. We decided to kind of give back as much as we can. So we do the ticket drawing for the 50% off, or the $50 off the $75 order or more monthly. And then we do, the sales a ton of sales. But, we decided also to do a birthday discount for their birthdays for our customers in the group or whatever. So, in the group, under announcements, you can click on that tab, and go down, and you're gonna see a ton of announcements. Just, you know, like when we're getting new glitters or something new's been added to the website will be there. If we do a cup swap again, it's there. The apps, if you guys are new and don't have the new app, we have an app for Android for the website, the Glitter and Shine website, and also one for Apple phones or Apple devices. So the app links are in there as well. Also, there's a place in there that Tay made for like a spreadsheet thing, Google Documents. You can click on it and you can add your birthday information. And between the 1st and the 5th of the month, she will send everybody an email with their birthday discounts, codes in there. So check your, you know, whenever your birthday is, check your emails or whatever, and you'll see that code. And she always posts in the group and says, hey, the birthday discounts for this month have been posted. The reason we're doing that is because we had a lot of people that were like, oh, well, we didn't know anything about the birthday discount. Can we have one? And so she's having to constantly go in and add people. And it takes forever to add individually when we could do it all in bulk, or, you know, a bulk message send out or whatever. So just remember that. If you're new to the group or if you didn't know about the birthday discount code, go over to the announcements page and look through that announcements page. A lot of people also are asking me about turners. We do sell turners. They're not on the website. We have one on there. It shows that it's out of stock, but we have it on the website just to show people that we sell them. But we don't put them on the website due to shipping because the shipping is whacked out. It doesn't calculate it correctly on the website. So anybody that wants turners, anytime you need a turner, we always have them ready to ship. Just message me. I can send you an email with a link for the invoice to pay it, and we'll get it shipped out to you. They start at $60 and go up to $175. There's photos in there as well. So if anybody needs information on turners, it's in there. So just remember to look in the announcements tab for announcements on inventory, restock, anything that we post. Just kind of browse through there every once in a while and look and see what's been posted. So anyway, so I think that's all I needed to say, but just remember to please go through there every once in a while and kind of check it out so that we're not having to repeat ourselves or go back and do extra work, because it is a lot of extra work to have to go in there and do stuff individually. So I'm going to go ahead and start the first live. The first one we're going to do is a Leopard Print Milky Way. So I just kind of sanded my cup for, of course, it was stainless steel. Sanded it down. I spray painted the base white. And then after I did the white, I put purple right here on this strip, just because I'm going to use purple glitter there. And it gets better coverage I try to match my glitter color closest to the spray paint as I can, or the spray paint closest to the glitter color as I can when I do Mod Podge method. I could do this epoxy method, but I want y'all to be able to see the whole live tonight instead of having to do it in parts. So I'm going to do Mod Podge method on this part, and then I have some fast set epoxy that only takes about 45 minutes to an hour to dry. So while we put the epoxy on this, we're going to work on some other cups, and then when we get done with those cups, hopefully this one will be done and we can finish it. So anyway, so just white and purple spray painted base, and then I'm just going to Mod Podge the rest of it on there. And I'm using, for my leopard print for the brown part, and I'll go through it as I go so you'll know what colors they are, but I'm using Holiday Toast, which is out of stock right now, but will be back in stock hopefully next week. I'm using grape jelly, which I did find some grape jellies today, and I put them on the website, or yesterday actually, that were stuck away in a box. So I added some grape jelly. There's only about 4 or maybe 5 on there. I don't know, not very many. So if somebody needs grape jelly really bad before we get our new inventory in, hopefully it'll be here next week, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. It'll probably be the week after that, I'm sure, but it's been restocked. And there's some other colors that were out of stock that I've also restocked today too. So if anybody needs any colors and it was out of stock, go check. It may be in stock now. Also, we're out of a lot of the micas. We are not out of them. We just don't have them jarred up. We decided to quit using the jars because we don't have room for all the jars. So I just ordered some bags for the mica powders. And so the mica powders from now on will be in bags. And just 1 ounce bags of mica. So I have bags coming. They'll be here on Monday. So we will update the website on all the mica powders too, because we have tons of them. They're not out of stock. We just don't have any jars to put them in right now. So those will be back in stock maybe Tuesday or Wednesday this week, if anybody needs micas. So I'm just putting an even layer of Mod Podge on my cup so we can put the glitters. I'm not doing a real thick layer, but kind of semi-thick. And remember, when you do Mod Podge method, you always want to make sure it's really, what do you call it? Like, there's no streaks, because we'll see it through your glitter. Again, I could have done the epoxy method, but it was just easier for me to show you guys this method. So, okay, so I'm using, this is in a different jar, not my jar, or not our thing. It has a different label. I need to change it out, but Holiday Toast for my white, which I should have done my purple first, but oh well. Maybe. Well, it's really like the brown part of the leopard part, I guess I should say. And if y'all have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll try to answer them as we go through. Hey, Brandy. I know, it's felt like forever since I've been on. Hey, Belinda. Yeah, Olivia, it's fast set is pretty awesome. Hey, Brittany. The Mod Podge brush, I got them at well, they have them at Joann's and Michael's, but I usually get them at Michael's because they come in like a 2-pack or a 3-pack, and they're a lot cheaper there. Hey, Glenda. So I'm just patting this down so that when I do the epoxy, it's not so rough. And hopefully we can just go with one layer of epoxy. You didn't get it that day, Belinda, that you tried? This one that I'm using is Purple Rain. It's kind of the holographic. My Mod Podge is already starting to dry. I'll have to go back through there and brush some more Mod Podge on there in a second. It's drying. I talked too much. And then on the other side, beside this, I'm going to use grape jelly. Hey, Debbie. You haven't, Sade? Hey, Tay-Tay. Hey, Jacqueline. The other day, somebody posted the other day that it was in stock. I don't remember who it was. Or somebody messaged me. And by the time I had went over there and was going to order more of it, it was already out of stock. I'm just adding some Mod Podge strip on them. It's already dried. I have it super hot, and well, not super hot, but pretty warm so that the facet will dry fast. I have some serious OCD issues, you guys. Sorry. Hopefully once everybody gets it, the fast set, or, you know, has gotten over the newness of it, maybe it won't be so hard to get and everybody can finally get a shot of grabbing it. Hopefully they'll start restocking more of it instead of just a little bit at a time. I almost gave up that last time that when they posted it, and I refreshed and refreshed and refreshed, I don't know how many freaking times, my browser to try to get it, and I was about to give up and finally I went through. Oh, the trying to pour it in it. Sometimes it doesn't. I still get glitter everywhere. I was telling my grandma the other day, she was like, because we were looking like at houses and stuff around here to try to get out of the one that we're in, because it's kind of, I mean, it's not small, but it's too small for us. Like, we need more room. And so she was like, what are you going to do if you get a shop and stuff? And I said, well, I was really thinking, you know, I could get some epoxy and pour it on the floor and pour some glitter on the floor and just like make the floor glittery already so that when glitter gets down there, you can't tell. Okay, so I'm going to go outside real quick. I'm going to spray this really fast. No, I'm going to go ahead and do the dots first, I think. We're going to go ahead and do the leopard print dots first. But anyways, I was saying, what was I saying? I don't even remember now. I'm wondering if I should spray it again and do, because I'm not really liking that for a leopard print. What do y'all think? do too. Y'all should see the floor down here. It's horrible. I think we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go. So now I'm just taking my Mod Podge on a brush, bristled like a little paintbrush, and I'm applying the Mod Podge for my dots. And I'm gonna do purple dots instead of brown ones. Remember, like, the leopard print dots don't have to be perfect. Just make sure you apply enough Mod Podge though to, when you apply your glitter, it sticks to it. I just kind of tap it on there, the little dots. The bathroom counter, that would be cool too. I was, somebody posted on Facebook earlier when I was going through my news feed that some glittered grout. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. I don't think people really, or men don't really realize the craze of how crazy, like, everything's so glitter obsessed right now. Okay, so I got my dots on there. So I'm going to use, let's see, I think I'm going to use the Purple Rain again for my dots. So I'm just going through and sprinkling the Purple Rain on my dots that I just did with the Mod Podge. I normally seal this before I do it, but I don't want to wait for it to dry, so hopefully the purple will come off the other color. Hope. Yeah, I did. Okay, now I'm going to go back with my black around my purple dots. No, well, I just went ahead and Mod Podged the whole entire cup. Oops. Just now, and then went over it that quick with the dots. I mean, I'm not pressing down really hard on the cup to where the other glitter's going to come off, if that makes sense. You want to do it lightly so you're not messing up the other colors. I hit that little spot. Okay. So in other words, I'm not using enough pressure on the brush where it's gonna mess it up from not letting it dry. If that answers your question, I hope. Okay, so now I'm just going with a littler brush around my Purple Rain dots, and I'm gonna go put black. If I missed anybody's question or comment or whatever, if you had a question, just type it in there again. I'm trying to watch so I don't miss anybody's. It's taking me forever to get back on track with cups after Christmas. I did not want to. Ooh, I was sick of cups. Did anybody else feel like cups were never going to get done, orders? And again, I'm just tapping this on there, not hard, because you don't want it to mess up the glitter underneath in case if it's not dry. Just barely tap it on there. Hey, Gina. Olivia, no, I do, well, of course I do a lot of craft shows, but, we live in a little tiny town. I mean, I don't know, Belinda, how many people lives here in this town? What's the population? Do you know it? I don't know it, but, I mean, it's not tiny, but it's pretty small, to where once you get your name out there, everybody kind of recommends you, or when they see a tumbler, they're like, oh, where'd you get that? And so it kind of, and I always put my stickers on the bottom of my cups, so that helps me get a lot of customers that way too. But from shows, just doing shows, I get a ton of customers. Probably, I would say about 80% of my orders come from people that have picked up my card and is like, hey, I seen you at this show or whatever. I would like to order a tumbler, you know? Because they come through there and they want something custom made. They don't want something that you have, or they've bought from a craft show before and then they want to order something else again for a gift or whatever. But I also have a Facebook business page for tumblers too. Which, I don't know, I mean, sometimes I forget. I get so busy that I forget to, with glitter sales and everything else, I get busy and I forget to post my cups on there, honestly. So I don't have a lot of cups on there. I mean, I try to remember to go through there and post them, but I get busy and I forget. So, but most of my sales come from just doing craft shows. I'm trying to think. I don't want to add any more black anywhere. You'd be surprised how many people like you get, like the craft shows really brings you a lot of extra traffic for sure. I took a week and a half off too, Claudia, and I was not ready to go back. When you work 50 plus hours, yeah. There's no way I could do craft shows plus sell glitter and all this and work a full-time job. There's no way. I mean, selling glitter in itself is a full-time job. I mean, it really, especially when you're just a one-person show. I mean, Will comes and helps me a lot when he gets off work, and my mom comes and helps. My grandma helps bag orders. You know, like, I have help here and there. I'm not saying I do it all by myself, but all of the ordering and for glitter and stuff and all of that I do. I mean, like, I do all the ordering and all the website stuff and all the orders and all the email and all that crap. So, yeah, it's a lot. So, this is the start of our cup so far. Here's our leopard print. Oops. I don't know why I keep hitting that part. Oh, that was supposed to be black. That's why. So now I'm going to go spray it really good. Seal it with my Rust-Oleum clear spray. So I did the purple rain dots, and then this, the brownish kind of part in the back, that's Holiday Toast. The dots are purple rain. The black is Galaxy, and then this is grape jelly, and then it fades into the purple rain. So that's what it looks like so far. So I'm going to go spray this really quick, and then we're going to let it dry for about 10 minutes, and then we'll epoxy it with the fast set and let it go, and then we'll start the other cups that I wanted to show you guys, or do. We're going to start a Milky Way, a regular Milky Way, so y'all can kind of see how those go. But, yeah, I don't know why you're on my... See, when I'm at home, Will doesn't want to do nothing but watch TV. Like, the TV's blasting, and he don't even hardly talk or anything to me. He's all worried about TV. But when I'm on live, the TV's probably paused at home right now, and he's watching me on the live feed, all up in my business. Y'all see how that is? Talking about I help. But he really does help. He helps a lot. Okay, so I'm going to go spray this real quick, and then we'll let it dry for a minute, and then we'll go back and epoxy it, and then we'll add the micas to it for the Milky Way part. So give me a second, I'll be right back. Here I come, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this on the turner. And I'm gonna move the phone over here to the other deal. Okay, now let me move y'all over here so y'all can see better. Sorry if I make y'all seasick by moving the camera. Trying to figure out where it's going to be the best spot for y'all to see better. Maybe right here. Y'all don't look at my disastrous mess back there. I haven't reorganized from Christmas craze yet. Maybe I will be able to see. I don't know. Sorry, y'all. Okay, that's better. Can y'all see the cup? Here, let me move it down one. Okay, so now we're gonna start the other Milky Way. So this is going to be like a regular Milky Way, and it's going to, of course, be different steps than the one that we just did with the leopard print. I can't read comments right there. Hang on, y'all. Let me move this up again. Sorry. I can't see y'all's comments. I'm not really liking this little phone stand thingy, especially when I'm at the turners. Okay, I think that's better. Now I can read comments. Can y'all see good? It's the truth, Will. You know it's the truth. Where's Carrie at? Carrie ain't on here harassing him? Okay, so let me get my gloves. And I'm going to use the faceted epoxy on these two so that we can do more steps on them. For the glitter, I use what did I use? Ultra Mate. This is what I use. Or Mate. This is Clear Mate to seal my stuff. A lot of times most of the time I use Quick Coat, honestly. But I do use this sometimes, and I'll show you guys. That's why I haven't epoxied this tumbler yet. I just put the glitter on this cup last night. This is all chunky. So a lot of y'all don't like using chunky because it's so hard to work with. But this is all chunky, this tumbler is. And this is straight glitter. I did epoxy method, put it on here, and then I tapped it down really well. And then I used the Quick Coat, and it has not been epoxy yet. Look how smooth it is already just with applying the Quick Coat. It has not been epoxied, not one time. So after I apply my Quick Coat on top of this, I did my glitter layer, epoxy method, and then did the glitter, of course. And then right after the epoxy method, after it dried, I did my Quick Coat, 2 layers of it, and now it's ready for epoxy. And I only have to do 1 layer of epoxy, and I won't have to sand it or anything with the Counterculture Quick Coat. So if you haven't used it before, you should definitely try it. And this is what it is, Quick Coat. It's a really good sealer. It helps. I mean, Quick Coat is amazing, you guys. Really it is. And it goes a long ways. I used 1 bottle and I use it on almost every cup. I used 1 bottle all throughout Christmas. So, I use a bristled brush, paintbrush. I just use these cheap paintbrushes. I buy like a big bag at Michael's for $9.99. Counterculture. All the products that I use, epoxy and my Quick Coat and all that stuff, I get from counterculturedyi.com. I don't use anything but Counterculture stuff anymore. Counterculture DIY. And it's pretty expensive, but it lasts forever. Their epoxy, you're going to love the epoxy. The epoxy is amazing. It gives you a really crystal clear, like, glass finish. I'm going to turn those on yet. Yeah, Counterculture is definitely a game changer. For sure, for sure. I don't know what's going on with this cup. Okay. So now I'm going to mix my quick... Is that not moving? Oh, I changed it. Hang on, guys. Okay, I'm gonna mix my Quick Coat up real fast. Not my Quick Coat, my Fast Set, I mean. Minwax Polyacrylic. Is there anything to miss? Is there anything to miss with Quick Coat? I don't understand. Help me understand what you're saying, Kathleen. Anything? Oh, no. It just comes in the straight bottle. I'll just pour it in a little medicine cup, just a tiny bit. You don't need very much, just a tiny bit. And then use my bristled brush. And I usually put like 2 layer coats on the cup after my glitter layer. Or after I've glittered it. And let it dry for like 20 minutes and then you can epoxy it. Is Quick Coat the same as the polyacrylic? I'm not sure about that. If it's the same as the polyacrylic or not. It's really not, because the Quick Coat also helps you not to have, it makes your surface a lot smoother, so you're not using so much epoxy, really. And you're not having to sand. Like, I don't sand any of my cups anymore. After the glitter layers, I'm saying. And y'all know how I used to hate doing chunky cups, because you have to put so many layers of epoxy, and you have to, sand it after so many times. Doing chunky cups, I hated them. But now I don't have any problems with it. Like, that's just, like I said, glitter and then the 2 layers of the Quick Coat, and then I'll do a layer of epoxy and it'll be ready for decal. So the Quick Coat helps with fish eyes. It helps with smoothness, a crystal glass looking finish. Like, it helps with a lot, honestly. If you haven't tried it, like, really, you should try it. And they Counterculture accepts sizzle as well. But I use Counterculture epoxy, the Fast Set, Quick Coat. All their products that I use is Counterculture. The Quick Coat, probably like 20 minutes. I run my heat gun over it after I put the Quick Coat on, and then I let it sit for like 20 minutes, and then I epoxy. It doesn't take long to dry. Okay, so I'm going to put this, this is going to be another Milky Way cup. We're going to go ahead and glitter it. I'm super messy with epoxy. And I'm using the fast set on this too, so it'll dry quick and we can add the epoxy over the glitter here in a little bit too. If y'all haven't ever tried fast set, as soon as it gets back in stock or y'all can grab some, you should try it. It's amazing. Like, the epoxy literally is dried to where you can start your next step in 45 minutes. If it wouldn't have been for Quick Coat, I don't know, it would have taken me forever to get through Christmas orders. Okay. I'm trying to save that, but I think it'll probably cure before. Crystal lac. I don't know. I don't think I've ever even heard that before. Claudia? Yes, Fast Set is made by Counterculture. It's a new epoxy that they just released. It's always out of stock because they just like launched it. But it's I don't have, oh, here it is, Fast Set. It comes in A and B just like regular epoxy does. But it dries, this epoxy dries at about 45 minutes to an hour max. And it's like dry to the touch where you can start your next layer. But this is, and it only comes in this size. The 32 ounce bottles. It's called Fast Set Epoxy. It's amazing. So, like, you have to stalk their webpage though to get it because it's new and everybody's going crazy over it right now. Okay. I'm going to use my torch and just kind of go over. And really you don't have to, but I'm kind of OCD, so. So pop any bubbles. And after we do the glitter on this one, then I'll epoxy the leopard print so it can get going, so that we can add the micas after it gets done curing. Okay, so on this one, I don't really know what colors to use. We're just gonna add glitter. Let's see. I'm gonna use Girl's Best Friend, I think. And this is just adding glitter epoxy. Oh, I guess I better take the lid off, huh? Adding glitter epoxy method. So there's no like certain way to do it. I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle it wherever. Get a lot of bubbles with the epoxy. I get a lot of bubbles with epoxy because I don't mix it right. I use my wooden stir sticks and I mix it super fast. But you need to torch your, any kind of epoxy that you use, you should always torch it after you get done applying it. Counterculture epoxy, you definitely want to torch it after you apply it, just because it gives you a completely different, after you torch Counterculture epoxy, it gives you seriously a crystal clear like finish. So you really want to torch it. And it pops all your bubbles. Yeah, you've seen how, see all those bubbles in there? It's really bubbly on the Fast Set, but you pop it with your torch. And on my the regular art resin from Counterculture, my regular epoxy from them, I heat it up because it's so super thick. But with Counterculture, everybody says, oh, it's so expensive, it's so expensive. It is expensive, yeah, I'll give them that. It's very expensive. But the good thing about it is it's really thick and you don't use near as much Counterculture as you would any other kind of product. This one I'm using is Cranberry Ice. Like, I've used a lot of different epoxies and I don't use near as much Counterculture epoxy as I do any other kind of epoxy I've ever used. Never. Because I don't know. It's just, counterculture is so much different than other epoxies. And I'm telling you, I've tried tons of epoxies. You just really got to try it first to kind of get it, I guess I should say. To kind of get what I'm saying, I guess. So that one is, this one I'm using is Opal Glaze. Does anybody have a certain color they want me to use on this Milky Way tumbler with these? Anybody have any suggestions? What other color I should use? I don't really know. And when I do epoxy method, I just kind of go and tap the glitter down. So it's not, it sticks. You don't have to sand it. I know, Belinda, for real. It's gonna be really fast. And this one is Diamonds and Pearls. Let me see. I don't know what other colors to use, y'all. Purple, teal, or pink? Okay, let me see. Purple, teal, or pink? What about Pink Panther? Let's try some Pink Panther. Like I said, you can, I mean, it doesn't, there's no certain way of putting your glitter on there. Oops. Blue. Can't put that back in there, hang on. Let me get a dump cup. All things orange. Orange is Tay-Tay's favorite color, in case y'all didn't know. Sweetwater Crime Watch. No, what happened? Something crazy happened? Are you talking about the manhunt thing? I saw that on the news this morning. My neighbor. Controlled substance among others. What? I seen that her brother got arrested. But I dang sure didn't see what for. If it was for that crazy crap. Was your husband a part of the manhunt yesterday, Belinda? Sure, was he working? I guess so, since he works Monday through Friday, huh? I kind of put some funky pink right there, but we'll cover it up with micas. Okay, so now I'm going to use, I guess, Shooting Star in the middle of that. Yeah, he had a parole warrant. No, he was home with the flu. Oh. Yeah, I seen it on Good Morning America, the news this morning, early this morning, and it said that, I guess he showed up on somebody's property asking for a bottle of water, and the guy was like, yeah, I'll give you a bottle of water, and gave him the bottle of water, and then took him to the rest area down the road, and called the police on him, and I was like, why'd they call the police on him for asking for a bottle of water? I was confused. But obviously the news didn't report the whole story, I'm sure. Y'all, if y'all don't have this shooting star color, you have to get it. Like, it's amazing. When this cup is finished, I'm going to use it on the other cup too, but like, it's a super, super opal, and it is so freaking shiny. Okay, now what color to do the bottom? I think I'm just going to put Lullaby on the bottom. And this Lullaby color is another super, super opal shiny color. It's called a super opal glitter. It's amazing. These are the two, I don't think I've ever bought that this expensive of a glitter ever from China. Oh my god. Oh, look what I'm doing, I'm making a huge mess. Like, how did that come out and then not fit back in there? Anyway, this is the most expensive glitter I've ever bought from China. All of these glitters that I'm using are on our website, glitterandshine.net. If there's anybody new watching, if you haven't seen the website or been to the website, head over there and check it out. All the glitters that I use today in the live are all on our website. That one's called Lullaby, and it's a super opal too. It's super, super, super sparkly, like high flash sparkly. Okay, now I'm just going to go back and I'm going to pat down my glitter, the chunkies. Just barely tap with my finger to get them to lay down good. So that when we epoxy it, we don't have to do so many layers, hopefully. And see, my epoxy on the bottom of this is already drying because my glitter is not wanting to stick very well. On the fast set epoxy that I told you, well, it doesn't cure, but it dries in like 45 minutes because I'm right here by the heater. So it's already started to dry. It's not even sticky anymore. There's some spots that are sticky, but it's getting pretty dry. So after you've kind of tapped it down, if you're using a regular epoxy, you want to let it spin until it dries completely for at least like 4 to 6 hours if you're using the regular epoxy. So don't follow me and go and epoxy it here in like 30 minutes because it's not going to be ready for epoxy. Okay, because remember, I'm using the fast set, so. Oh my gosh, I have a ton of them in that dresser thing over there and a whole bunch more underneath here, Belinda. And I just ordered more because I'm really super low. Okay, so that we're going to let turn for a minute. So now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to epoxy the leopard print one that we just did. And then we're going to epoxy these two, and I'm going to show you what opals look like on the white base compared to the black base. The difference in opals. From where? Oh. Yeah, our town is wild. And then after this gets done, we'll add, or dries a little bit, we'll epoxy it. And then let it dry for about 30 minutes, and then we'll go back and add the micas for the Milky Way. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to epoxy this cup. That turner is kind of loud, so y'all just have to bear with me. It's super loud. Where are you from? I'm from Texas. Okay, so I'm gonna do a pretty thick layer just because I want it to be pretty smooth so that we can You're from San Antonio? Oh, wow. That's not very far from here, from us. I'm gonna say, guys, I'm gonna close this door. Edinburgh, Texas. Where's Edinburgh? I don't even know where that's at. Welcome to the group, Roxy. Yes, I'm using Facet. And the only reason I'm using Facet on these is just because so we can kind of get through the whole Milky Way process so that y'all can see the process a little bit faster. This turner is like way loud. I think I've ever noticed it being that loud before. I guess usually we have the radio blasting. Ah! My black ran. Oh well. And it mixed near enough epoxy. Ah. Oh God, I had to mix some more epoxy up. I didn't mix enough. Close to the Mexico border. Oh wow. You want to be in Texas? Oh my gosh. Y'all, like I was outside spray painting cups earlier. Oh, I was about to have a freaking stroke. I hate Texas. The wind here is insane, especially in West Texas where we're at. Like it's not ever not windy. And so I was outside trying to spray cups for the live. Oh my gosh, it was a freaking mess. I finally accomplished it though. And the wind was blowing right from the north, and I'm standing like there's nothing blocking the wind. It's crazy. It's one thing I hate about doing cups in Texas is the wind. No, this heater has me burning up. I shouldn't have wore a long sleeve shirt back here. Rhode Island, is it cold in Rhode Island? Hey, Ken. Everybody from Texas. Oh, everybody's from Texas. Summer weather. Yeah, it is. I thought it was supposed to be cold today too, and it really wasn't. It was a really nice day. Nice and sunny. Well, cold for Texas is 50 degrees. I don't know why that black did not seal right there. That's strange. I've never had a problem with it not sealing, but my black kind of smeared a little bit. Oh well. Should I put stick tight on top of this? Or quick cut, I mean. Ah, I just messed it up. It's not drying. That's weird. I've never had that problem before. Oh well. We'll be putting micas on top so you won't be able to tell anyways. Okay. So I'm going to torch it, and then we'll start these 2 cups while these 2 are drying. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry or turn, and we will start these 2. And I'm just doing these 2. Just gonna do them epoxy method too, so you can see the difference in the colors of opals, because it's way crazy on a white and black base. A lot of people don't realize that they change colors on different color bases, so that's why we're gonna do that tutorial. This I'm gonna mix 10, I think, so we can do them, mix them both together. If I miss any comments, I'll go back after the live too and check them. Remember, when you do epoxy method, you don't want like a real thick layer of epoxy. You just need a little bit for it to, your glitter to stick. Okay. And these 2 probably, right here, will probably be Milky Ways as well, but eventually, or maybe, I don't know. I just wanted to show you all the difference in what it looked like with opals on a black and white, or really any color base difference. And you don't, like I said, you don't want a thick layer, just enough to where the glitter will stick. Sorry, my turners are so loud. It's irritating. And the phone makes it seem like it's louder now. So does anybody else already have like cup orders coming in already? Or are y'all taking breaks or getting ready for the next holiday, or what are y'all doing? There's a gnat flying by my head and it's driving me nuts. You see how much epoxy that I just used on this glitter tumbler? Like I barely had 5 mLs of glitter, and it's like on a chunky cup at that. And it's completely covered with the, after I put the quick coat on here. Before I applied the glitter, I put the quick coat, and it's completely covered with less than 5 mLs of epoxy. And it will be, I won't have to put another layer. It'll be really smooth. So that's the difference by using the quick coat to seal your glitter with. Like, it's really smooth. Okay. I'm gonna torch these, then we'll glitter those, and then we'll epoxy that one, and then maybe that one should be ready for micas by then. And if you guys use counterculture and you don't torch your cups, you should really get a torch and torch them so you can see the difference, like what a difference it makes them after you torch them. Like, it's a huge difference in the outcome of them. It's crazy. Like, I was scared to death of the torch at first. I have a bigger one too, but I finally got where I'm not scared of it. But I like this kitchen one better. It doesn't scare me as bad. This one I use Bourbon Street Chunky and Joker Chunky on this cup that I'm torching right now. If anybody was wondering, I don't think I told y'all what I used on that one. Okay, so now we're going to glitter these. And again, I'm going to use all the opals. And I'm going to use the same colors on both cups so you can see the color difference. So, let me get another opal. Where's my purple one? Can't find it. Oh, here it is. I think we'll use these two. So I'm going to use Midnight in Paris. I'm going to use that one. Passion, Pink Panther Chunky, and Pink Panther Fine. And we're going to use the same colors on both cups so that you can see the difference of what it looks like with different colors. And when you do it on the black base, you don't want to use very much, just a light sprinkle, because if you pack it on there, compact it on there, it's not going to change colors. The glitter is not going to soak in, if that makes sense. So just a really, really, really light layer when you do on the black base for the color to change. $250 shirts, holy cow. Do quick coat before epoxy. Yes, Molly, I do my glitter epoxy method normally. Let it dry. Then I do 2 coats of quick coat, and then I do epoxy. That's what I did on this one, and it's smooth. Like, I won't have to sand it or anything. It'll be ready for decal after that layer, after the first layer of epoxy. Okay, so now I'm going to use Pink Panther Fine. When it comes back around. Is there an odor to Quick Coat or to the epoxy? Quick Coat is made by Counterculture DIY, and it's a sealer for glitter or anything really, but it helps a lot so that you don't use as much epoxy, like on chunky cups. For those that don't like doing chunky, it helps to, like, you don't have to sand it. Usually, like on a chunky cup, you would have to do like 2 layers of epoxy before you could, then you'd have to sand it and then do another layer of epoxy before you could decal it to get it smooth. But with Quick Coat, you don't. I put too much Pink Panther on there. It's not going to change colors, I don't think. On this black, this should turn purple, this Pink Panther. But I kind of put too much on there, so. Go not fast. And these are going to be Milky Ways too, so it doesn't really matter if the glitter is straight lines or not, because they'll be Milky Ways. Okay, now we're going to use the Passion. This one is Passion. It's opal as well. Uh-oh, I lost connection. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I lost connection. Hey, Bridget. Well, I'm just trying to do it so that I don't have to hang up the live and then come back on the live, so that, because I want y'all to see the end of this cup, the Milky Way, because I'm going to be able to go, since I'm using that fast set epoxy, it'll be dry in probably another 20 minutes. So that's why I thought I would do all these other cups, so that you could see, we could go back and do the micas on that. Remember, when you want, when you're using opals on black bases, just a little bit, a little tiny sprinkle, because if you put like a big layer on there, it's not going to shift colors. Like that should have been purple. You shouldn't have been able to see any pink. But when I put the epoxy on there, it should kind of soak it up to where it'll turn purple. The Pink Panther will turn purple on the black base. Okay, now we're going to use, did I use this one yet? I don't remember. No. Okay, now we're going to use the Midnight in Paris. And again, it's going to be a Milky Way, so the lines, I mean, I'm not really worried about it being straight or even. And this one has a little, like, purple with a pink kind of shift to it a little bit. These would be really good colors for a Northern Lights cup, really. or Northern Nights, however you say it. Okay, now I'm going to use the last one. I think I'm going to use that. I don't know, because they're all little. What should I use? I guess we'll use Bubblicious. It's an opal too. And this is the light pink Bubblicious. It's probably my favorite pink that we have. This, well, Pink Panther and this one's pretty close, actually. That's why my bottle's almost empty. This one looks really pretty over here. If that pink would have blended in a little bit better. See how that pink is kind of turning a greenish color on the black base? Or a tealish kind of color? Okay. Now on the bottom, I think I'm just going to dump something on the bottom. Maybe this one, on the bottom of this one. Just dash it on there. I hate taking the turner arms off while they're spinning. Drives me crazy. I'm going to add that one. Oops. But see, now you can kind of see the difference, what they look like on different bases. They look completely different on darker bases, that all the opals do. Oops. No, you can't use the quick coat as a last coat. No, you still have to add epoxy. Because it's quick coat, it doesn't give a hard finish. It's just like a, I don't know how to really explain it, but it's not hard. Which one is your favorite color? Yeah, the black base looks really cool. And the all the opals that we have, the Pink Panther Chunky, Pink Panther Fine, Passion, Midnight in Paris, Bubblicious, Sunshine Coral, Sun-Kissed Coral, Atlantis, I don't know. We have tons and tons and tons and tons of opal colors that will do that on a black base. Let me stick these over here real quick. So there's a ton of different opals that you can do black bases, or even if you do like a pink base with purple on top of it, it's still going to color shift. It has, all the opals have a really good color shift to them on different color base cups. Okay, so now we're going to come back and epoxy this one real quick. Yeah, because it's dry, all the way dry to the touch. Bubblicious, yeah, I love Bubblicious. Hey, Marissa. So we're gonna epoxy this one, and then maybe when we get done epoxying this one, we can go ahead and add our micas to this one. Yeah, because it's almost dry. Y'all, fast set is amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know what anybody ever did without fast set, before fast set. Or what I would have done for Christmas if I didn't have fast set, to be honest. I wouldn't have got all my orders finished, that's for sure. And if you have not ever gotten your hands on any fast set, just keep stalking their webpage, Counterculture's webpage. I'm sure once the craze goes down for it, you'll be able to snag you some. So we'll do this, and then we'll mix our micas for that cup to do the rest of the Milky Way. Yes, I'll list them in the group, Jacqueline. If I don't list them after the live, remind me and I'll do it. But yeah, I can list them in there. Purple Ice does it too. The Purple Ice, the white with the purple color shift, it does it on if you use Purple Ice, but you have to do a really thin layer of the epoxy and then a really, really light dusting over the epoxy so it'll change the color. But that Purple Ice turns to like a dark, almost a royal blue on the cup. It's amazing. I use Purple Ice on black base all the time just for the blue, but it's so pretty because it's like a deep royal bright blue. I don't know, it's really pretty though. I'll have to try to remember to do it. I think I did do one in the group one time with it actually, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I mixed enough epoxy this time. We'll see. And if it kind of smears, since it's not really sealed with anything, it's alright because it's going to be a Milky Way, so no biggie. Should have mixed a little bit more, not enough again. I try to be stingy with fast set, but I guess I need to stop doing that. And just mix it. Yeah, because I don't have near enough. Hey, Glenda. So on the leopard print and purple tumbler that we did, I'm going to use a white, maybe a rose gold, and a few purples, and maybe a blue on that purple one for micas, I think. Not much mica. I don't want very much on there. Just a little bit to kind of give it some depth, I guess, I should say. All right, now we'll torch this one. Trying to get a thick enough layer on there so I don't have to add another after this one dries. Okay, good enough. I could sit here and find little flaws and keep messing with it and jacking with it all dang day with OCD. I hate OCD sometimes. It drives me up a wall. Okay. There's one little spot I keep seeing that comes around and it's sticking out. It's driving me crazy. Oops. See the difference in that opal, the shooting star, how shiny it is, sparkly? It's crazy sparkly. That one's not quite ready for the micas yet. So what I might do, you guys, since it's not quite, it's almost ready, probably about another 30 minutes, is I'm gonna jump off for about 30 minutes or so and kind of clean up my mess. And I'll epoxy these two, and then I'll jump back on as soon as this one's ready for the micas. Will that work? So I don't have to keep just dragging y'all on. So I'll get back on here in just a little bit. This one should be almost done. This layer of epoxy that we put on, I would say maybe 20 minutes to 30 minutes max. I'll jump back on and we'll do the micas on it. Because I don't really have anything else to do while we wait for it to finish. Or actually, I'll probably just wait to jump back on until this cup right here is done too. So about an hour, I'll jump back on so that we can do the micas for this cup and that one. To go ahead and finish the Milky Way so you can see the whole process of both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off for a little bit and kind of clean up my little area. Go to the bathroom and stuff, get something to drink. And then I'll come back and we'll do the micas for this tumbler, the pink one, and for the leopard print to finish up the Milky Ways on those so that you can see the end of the process. So I will be back, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour at the most. So thanks for watching. I'll be back for part 2 of the Milky Way. See you in a little bit.